we have yet another gay Republican. Of course! These stories, you know, they used to give me joy because we exposed their hypocrisy, etc. Now it's a little revolting. You know, we've seen it a million times. There's a guy by the name of Philip Hinkle. He is a representative, and he has decided from Indianapolis, and he has decided that he was going to go ahead and answer a call on Craigslist for M for M, meaning men for men, and try to get a 20-year-old, who, by the way, turned out in reality to be 18 years old, to come sleep with him in a hotel room. He offered him $80 and said but if he was really good, that he could give an additional $50 to $60. Wow, that is quite enticing. Finally, they do go into the hotel room. Like an 18-year-old does show up, and of course, the 18-year-old is a gentleman, and you're going to be surprised to find out Hinkle's anti-gay record later in this story. And Hinkle is in a towel. Later, he tells the kid that he's a state official, and when he does, the kid gets nervous and wants to leave. At that point, Hinkle removes his towel and starts grabbing at the kid, okay, and shows him his penis, obviously. All right, very classy. When busted, then Hinkle goes into the kid goes into the bathroom, calls his sister, says, "Get me out of here because this guy won't let me go." And he's saying, "Hey, you know what? If I can't leave because he's my ride, right?" So the sister comes, busts in, and at that point, Hinkle is nervous and says, "Here, why don't you take my BlackBerry, my iPad, and I'll give you $100 on top. Just don't tell anybody." That's not how it works out for him. But now, first, let's go to Hinkle's quotes, and then I'll come back and tell you how the story ended. He says, in response to the guy posing as a 20-year-old online, men for men, he says, quote, "Cannot be a long-time sugar daddy, but can for tonight. Would you be interested in keeping me company for a while tonight?" So, Hinkle is, he's a reasonable gentleman. And as I said, he's from Indiana. And he says, "Look, I can't be a long-time sugar daddy, but tonight I could be your sugar daddy." Fair enough. Then he says, "I'm in shape, married, professional, 5'8", fit, 170 pounds, and love getting and staying naked." I'm not sure about the veracity of the first part, although he did prove the veracity of the second part later in the night, when he got naked and stayed naked. He goes on. Another email says, "If you want to consider spending night, you might tell your sis so she won't worry. Would have you back before 11 tomorrow. No extra cash, just free breakfast and maybe a late night snack." Well, is he not merciful? He's throwing in free late night snacks and a breakfast. You get a Danish afterwards. Man, this guy is quite generous. But look, to me, that tells you how he knows how young the guy is. Well, the guy's advertising himself as 20, right? But the kid has trouble leaving the house, needs a ride, and says, "Don't worry, we'll tell your sister a good story and I'll have you back." Maybe that could have rang some bells and go, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be having sex with a kid so young that I'm going to have to sneak him back into the house so his sister doesn't get worried." Especially when I'm a Republican who's run on a anti-same-sex marriage platform, which of course Hinkle has. By the way, let's tell you about that platform. First of all, he co-authored a bill where you were allowed to, in Indiana, get license plates that said, "In God we trust." Okay, great. Okay, in God we trust, unless we're in a Marriott somewhere with a towel for the first half of the altercation and no towel the second half. Okay, so that's fine, but you can trust in God and then want to apparently do that. How about same-sex marriage? Well, vehemently opposed, not only to marriage, but to civil unions, voted that way, and family values, and absolutely no rights in those regards for gay people, while he's secretly trying to have sex with very young boys in hotel rooms. Of course! Of course! So how does this story end? Well, as I told you, the sister comes in, busts him, and now they've got his BlackBerry, they've got his iPad, I guess, because he just gave him everything. Please don't say anything. And they're leaving, and his wife calls on his cell phone. The sister picks up the phone and says, "Yeah, your husband's gay. And he was just trying to have sex with my younger brother." So she says, "Oh, you got the wrong number." He says, "Oh, yeah? Well, let me read you the emails from his account." She reads the emails, and the wife goes, according to the sister, says, "Okay, I'll give you $10,000. Don't tell anybody." Oops. All right, so that's enough of a disaster. Later, the brother-in-law, or the son-in-law, I should say, calls in and says, oh, we don't believe you have those emails. So then the sister meets up with the daughter of Hinkle and shows his daughter the emails where he's looking for the gay sex and is willing to throw in the free Danish. And once Hinkle finds out that all of this has happened, he's talking to the sister, and he says, quote, "You just ruined me." Now, that is entirely true, given that we just told, your wife and your daughter and the son-in-law, and now obviously the press has the story, etc. But here's what you had to realize, Hinkle. She didn't ruin you, you ruined you.